Wow. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Takeover Tuesday. This is Brandon. Every week, we get together with artists, activists, and entrepreneurs from across the city, and we information each week. And we also meet guests from just across the city, learn about what they're doing, what they're up to, and then we distribute it to our membership, social media, to the world as a whole. And why stop doing it now? We're on episode 20 of really an idea that is developing and is great each week. I just love it. This week, I want to talk about community engagement. Usually we plug in from the Little Five Points Community Center, but also just one of the great things about um, we're talking about community engagement this week, and if this video will play, I'm sure it will. Yeah, this week is about following up with people. I go to a lot of like weekly shows. I go to a lot of community events, and I make a lot of really good connections with folks. The same amount of detail that I was able to communicate with them, when I was in person with them. Once you leave, then you've got to deal with. Um, Hi, Raya. Well, hold on. We'll do this in a second. Uh, yeah, you've got to deal with email inboxes and phone inboxes and all of these technical issues. So we're going to talk today about following up. Raya, you can't see, but you can hear. I'm going to play a clip that's going to be 30 seconds. And if you can see it, then leave it in the private chat. All right, get ready. Here we go. I'm just going to question here. And you are muted, so if you can unmute, let me know. In the meanwhile,
I see it now.
Rock's here.
Hi.
Hello.
I see it now.
Okay. As soon as coming in, right out. But yeah, we're talking today just as a theme. We're talking about follow up and how do you do it and how does it work. This again. Okay, let's try this again.
Wow.
Yeah, so with the issue of following up, I'm going to play this quick thing, trailer, questionnaire, you name it. Let's see what happens. Does it matter? Well, first of all, what do you need to do to leave an impression with someone, and just how much does it matter? Uh, I guess for me, I mean, I've gone to Rocky. You've got a little expectations on ourselves when we go to events, when we go to mixers, when we go to, especially if it's something where you are paying maybe not a lot, but you definitely feel some, just as anybody who thinks about just even the concept of return on investment. You're like, man, I spent so much shrimp. Uh, when you're sometimes you're going to a networking event and you're like, I need to meet this many connections, and well, you just have to let go of it really quickly because
Hear me,
it's not really always
Jack. What is going on?
what is going on. What's going on
So,
behind you?
somebody save me. I'm in the tropics.
Is there a hurricane going on?
No, it's a beautiful day. There's a light breeze, though. It's nice.
Nobody sounds to me like nobody can save you from anything. I'm very feedbacky in your microphone, so keep working on that.
Of course.
But we are talking about, you know, sometimes you can meet one person that's really the right person, and forget about like the dollar ROI of it. You'll feel just optimism for what it can mean for your life. Somebody shares your interests, or for your business if they share a tool or technique that you're using. And Raya, you're muting yourself. So if you feel like jumping in and talking about connections or follow up, just please feel free. Um, yeah, sometimes, man, one person that really fits your vibe or is really grounded in a direction that you want to go in is really worth its weight in gold. You know, I went to Concerned Black Clergy yesterday, and I don't need to give all the specifics. You know, they're talking about the presidential election, and boy, they were just so upset first thing in the morning. Why hasn't Obama done this? Why hasn't Pelosi done that? And so a lot of the meeting, I was like, man, I really thought we'd be talking about some local issues that mattered here. But however, just in that crowd, you know, you find two people that are thinking about the local issues that you care about, and they give you a card and you give them a card, and suddenly that day or that event or that meeting is worth a lot more. And in those situations, it's just great. You just feel good. And in those situations, the real trick is just exclusively following up. And I really think because there's so much digital noise that like there's just so many especially if you're younger. You know, if you meet a boomer in person, you know, you have a little bit of more time to follow up with them sometimes. Um,
Can I
but
say something?
yeah, and in fact, we want you to. Hello, introduce yourself.
Hi, how are you guys? It's Raya. I just wanted to say that recently I have been introducing my business, introducing myself to a lot of people virtually, like through my phone, like through phone calls or a lot of meetings back to back. And I realized that people that are genuine are going to respect that. Like, you have a busy life, they have a busy life, and they're not going to rush you to, You know what I'm saying? They're not going to get mad at you for following up, and they're going to not rush you to, do whatever the case may be. And that's a big difference from previously. I've worked with people that just either have like bad communication, or they they just, it was like it's an attitude difference. So I think the higher, like, low quality, more quality of people that you are around, like high level quality people, are generally going to want you to follow up, and they're not going to be mad at you for doing so. And so yeah, so that's just something that I wanted to say.
Do, do you feel like you have to put aside time for following up with people, or
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, most definitely, because I have to set an alarm. I have to set an alarm because I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they were like saying something. I was like, well, it's just literally me, like, handling like all aspects of my business right now, like in all aspects. So I have to be very diligent about making sure that I get everything done, and people don't understand that the networking portion is crucial to the overall success of a business. So it's like, I can't leave out that portion. And even when you can't be at different things in person, there's always like, there's always a virtual, aspect of it too, that could be possible. So, like, for example, for my movie premiere coming up, some people can't come in person. So I was like, okay, well, I'll give you a virtual option or whatnot, in the case, like, of if I want to pitch my movie to them, or if I want them to see it specifically. So yeah, I feel like following up is very important, and you do have to set time aside, and you have to meet people where they are and not be mad at them, not be mad at them that they can't just do everything when you want it done, but actually, like, respecting their time, and if they're genuine, they're going to respect your time too.
Do you for me, having this show is actually really good as a networking tool, only because I know I'm going to be at the same place at the same time, even if a tree falls, or even if we've had all kinds of crazy stuff happen during this show. No matter what goes on, I try to be here each week. And so I have something where I can invite people to sit down with me at this certain kind of time, or I know I can like record something and send it to them after the show. Uh, do you how do you, like, when you are following up with somebody, do you have a specific call to action? Like, do you ask them to book a call with you? Do you ask them to get on your schedule? Or do you have like a specific thing for each person that you talk to that builds off the conversation that you had?
I believe I have a specific thing for each person because everybody's different. Some people like the more formal approach where it's like, let's schedule a time to talk again. Or some people like the more, casual approach. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if my audio went away, but some people like the more casual approach of, okay, well, I will follow up in a couple days, like, So I feel like you have to meet people where they are, and generally you can tell, like, if somebody is more, formal, wants a more formal, or is a more like casual, like, I'll see where your head is in a couple days about something. But as for following up, like, after 2 or 3 times, if we followed up and we want to, like, we should be able to, like, figure out, oh, do we want to move forward after the third time? Like, I feel like, I don't feel like you should keep, like, keep following up on the same person if they're, like, unresponsive or whatever the case may be. So I've learned that too. Like, it's okay. Like, some people don't know how to be, like, up front, so they don't want to say right flat out, like, no, or I'm busy, or da 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 da. So they'll just, like, they won't say anything at all. So in those instances, I've had people do that to me, and they come back like months or weeks later, like, oh, I'm sorry, this happened. And some people just don't know how to process what's going on in their life, or
A lot of
whatever.
the
They don't know how to do it.
a lot of the time, and you're touching on a really good point. a lot of the time when somebody doesn't follow up with you, it's not your fault and it doesn't have anything to do with you at all. People go through things with their family, people go through things with their business life, people go through things with their schedule. And I mean, I don't know. I have this sometimes. You might have it too, where it's like I can't interface with any other human being until I finish project number A and project number B. And so everything else has to go to the wayside until that is like finished. And like a couple of emails may get past me. Right. What are you doing with your hands? Are you doing kung fu? Are
I'm
you
measuring the width of the screen like
all right?
this.
Well, I'm saving my bandwidth here.
I'm not interrupting. I didn't interrupt. I'm just here. I finally got the computer to work.
No, I appreciate it, but
Now I'm in this little box.
yes, you are trapped. Good miming job. So I'm actually just for the sake of getting you up to speed, I'm gonna quickly show you what question we're at.
Oh, who want a foe? You know I want a foe.
How do
Oh
you
wait, that's not
encourage?
how you pronounce it.
No, and V would insist it's pho.
Yes, it is. It is. Thank you, Allison.
You'd get a granny style.
Thank you, baby T.
But
So yeah,
yeah,
catch me up. What did I miss?
well, we're just talking about, sometimes you need to send someone 2 messages or 3 messages, but maybe not more than that because people sometimes don't follow up with you for their own reasons.
Sure, that makes sense. I agree with that. Unless you broke up recently, then you just have to keep sending them messages over and over and over again. Don't ever stop. That's how you show you that you really care. It's just like nonstop,
Now,
like 20, 30 a day minimum.
sure.
I think it's the opposite. I think it's the opposite. I feel like when with my business too, like I feel like when I kind of back off of people later on, when they see me accomplish like what I said, like, if I said like I invited you to this or you're welcome to be a part, and then people see like you're actually standing on business and doing what you said you're going to do. Like so many people that, didn't follow up on California after I left California.
Oh,
They were like, "Oh,
they
I
didn't
wish
really
we were
fit,
a
but I
part of
tried.
California." Or, like, so I feel like if you just back off of people a little bit, I feel like that's when you attract like the people to you. I know it sounds crazy, but I think it works.
I
Uh,
think I think you're right, and I think you're right, and I think I'm right. I think we're all right.
yeah, like honestly, sometimes I have to do that because I've only got so much time during the week. But honestly, like my philosophy is always like, I'm going to keep sending you things until you tell me to stop. So I'm going to send you 3 personal messages, but then I might send you a newsletter or I might send you something more generic. Or if I finish a project, I'll message you. And I guess internally, it's like, dude, if you're not doing what I'm doing, what are you doing? And like sometimes I'll talk to somebody and they'll be like, oh, yeah, I'm just being funny here. I'm working on learning how to play saxophone for my
Oh,
business. And so, like, in 2 months, I'm going to send you a video of me playing the saxophone. And I'm going to be like, hey, we were supposed to do this together. You see, I did it by myself. What's up?
I'll show you on the here.
And I might not even say hit me back, but like for me, because I have like a couple of things that I do. I do lead generation. I do this show. I also do a service for churches called Sunday Summit, and we do like social media and stuff like that. So like I generally, whenever I talk about like making anything, like I'm actually working on it. And
You're
within the next,
serious.
yeah. So like if you say you're interested in that subject, you'd come talk to me a month later. I probably have made some kind of tangible progress toward it that I can show you so
I
that
have a
when you look
question.
at it, you're like, oh yeah, I did want to do that. And now it's a little bit closer. Or you'll be like, and if you change your mind, I don't know what to do with you. I can only do so much. Uh hey, tell people a little bit more about like what kind of work you do.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, I have an independent production company. It's called Most Productions LLC. I produce. I literally can produce anything. I started my own tour under my production company. So basically, the tour showcases business owners, talent, media, entertainment, artists, in all types of niches. So we have like different events, and we went to different cities and go to different cities doing different types of events. But I don't want to just work on my own projects. I like to work with other people as well. The thing that I was facing though was that either my time wasn't being respected, or people weren't respecting, like, oh, this is the amount of work I have to put in and being paid
Yeah.
fairly, or it was, I felt like I wasn't being pushed to my maximum potential of what I could do. I don't know. So it was, I felt like all of those things. And so that's why I started my own thing. But I'm totally down to work with others. I would love to produce things for other people and individuals as well.
This is actually leading into the next thing that I want to talk about. And Rock, this is your whole ethos. So I know that you'll like this coming question.
All right.
For many
Ethos.
people, for many people that are in our audience, this will be a tough question that you really have to think about. I feel like we make this a softball question, but here is the question.
So you find things to celebrate as a group. What big things is your group doing? Earn. Earn. Right now. Got it.
That you
Uh,
translate RN as RN.
just messing with
It's
you
a
guys.
real
You should,
sign of
by
being
default, you should assume that 9 out of 10 things out of my mouth is just messing with somebody,
yeah,
or I'm genuinely screwing something up.
yeah,
That's the
yeah,
other
yeah.
1 out of 10 times I make a mistake. The other 9 times I'm really just being a dick.
I think that just one of the great things about working with anyone is that you can brag about their accomplishments.
That's, you know what? I'm down with that. I prefer to brag about other people because it's so easy to brag about myself because I'm so tremendous and wonderful.
Oh
But
yeah.
it's like it gives me a nice challenge, you know. No, I'm just goofing. I'm goofing. But seriously, that is
Oh
like
yeah.
a staple to, I think, good. Um, I don't know, good humaning. Being a good
Right.
human is finding, great things about other people and making sure that other people know about those great things because that's how you build teams. That's how you discover things. Like I found that
Raya,
people that are particularly great at something don't tend to brag about it most of the time. Which means if nobody else is bragging on their behalf, how's anybody going to know how great they are?
Raya, how much time does it take for you to put in to create an event that you at least think is professional? I know that like events are marketing, and Rock likes to say this: marketing goes into infinity. But what does it take to put on a professional event, and how does that compare to just finding somebody who you like talking about?
Okay, so usually all of my events I start planning at least 3 months in advance.
Woo.
Um, for my first Girls in the Scene tour event, it was in September of last year. So my next one was in January, and then I did something in March I wasn't planning on doing, but I had budgeted out enough so I could do it. But I try to make everything about 3 months in advance. Now this next one is about 6 months in advance or five, just due to the nature of how big I want it to be. But what was the you asked me something in addition to
How
how long does it take?
how does that take cost in comparison to networking? Like it feels like promoting someone else's event, if you're getting a cut of it or some visibility off of it, might be easier than running an event from scratch. What are the trade-offs of producing an event versus promoting an event?
Oh, okay. Well, producing an event definitely takes a lot more work. Just considering like you're doing everything. Like you're doing everything unless you like have a team or somebody helping you, you're doing everything. But I like the marketing side, promoting as well. I feel like that's much, I don't want to use the word easy because both things are tedious. But definitely when you're thinking about someone else or doing it for somebody else's business, you're trying to attract their target customers and their target audience. So you have to think of, okay, if I'm familiar with that their target audience or not, or if I'm not, I have to get familiar with their target audience because their target audience may not be mine. And so if it's not, then I have to go out of the way to do what I need to do for them to have a successful event.
That's deep. um, I don't have, well, I'm going to think about my opinion on this. Rock, you've done lots of both producing and promoting. How do the two tasks compare to you?
They are in direct opposition of each other. Um, Literally, the more you do of one, the harder it makes the other one. You really, if at all possible, you should really be in the opposite lanes, in my opinion. Like
It's
you should,
it's
yeah.
actually funny because I fully agree with you, and I approach this from a completely different perspective. I usually produce digital events, and also promote digital courses and products, and that's really where my whole professional background is. And yeah, they're two different tasks. Especially like promoting is a lot of, at least in my experiences, one-on-one conversations, and they are kind of time consuming, and you've got to balance your time versus the production of the thing that you're making. And I guess this is why a lot of people start who are in affiliate marketing, which is what we just call event promotion in the fully online world. Um, yeah, they're thinking 3 months ahead of time or 6 months ahead of time because there's just such a long run up to whatever they've got to do. Because you've got to budget interpersonal interactions into the production of the event. But really, producing like a digital product like a course or something like that, Rock, we did a recording for a course called Members and Community, and we did it in January, and it's August now, and it's still there. It's in pristine shape. There's question, answer, intro, PDFs, files. There's all kinds of stuff that's done with it, and it's a moment in time that's technically before the launch of this show, but it's still evergreen. It's still really useful. So I really like just being able to produce a show in full tilt and not have to worry about the marketing. But the flip side of that is if you don't market it, nobody will know that it exists, which is tough.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I feel like that's where, see, I'm the type of businesswoman, like I take accountability like for my flaws or things that I could have done better. I feel like definitely when I started doing like larger cities, my first large city, I felt like, so I instead of just one event in the city, I decided to do three. So the first two events was really well, but the third one wasn't. It was still well, but it wasn't a lot of people there. And so when you're the producer and you're doing all the marketing, everything yourself, like people are gonna, everything falls back on you. So even though I produced a great event, even it wasn't marketed as well as it could have been. And everybody was looking at me like, "Oh, this is a great event, but why aren't more people here?" Blah 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 blah. And so I just feel like in the aspects like I'm open. I was definitely open then to help, but like when I really can't do something, like I'm trying to be more, not giving up until I find somebody that can actually help me with that. Because when before, if I didn't have help, I would just be like, oh, I'm just gonna do it myself. But then some things you just have to keep searching until you find, like you just can't like give up, especially when it comes to your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I struggle with that all the time. Sometimes there are things that uh, you're the only person who knows how to do it. Not like in the world, but you're the only person that knows how to do it the right way and on time. And those situations can be not tough, but just you've got to lock in. And as you're locking in on that, you're thinking all the time of like, I could be doing. And then you start listing other things that you could be doing in that time. And that can be very overwhelming. I feel like I'm supposed to say, but with faith in yourself, you can. No, there's no but. It's just like that's
Yes, yes,
one
but
cool thing
yes, but
that yeah, no buts. It's just one thing that I think that we all have in common in this room is we've all got a lot of freedom to tackle things we want in the way we want in the time that we want. And a lot of people like want to do that or say they want to, but there's just the trade-off of you always feel like you're on the clock. You feel like there's a punch card that's just floating above your shoulder. That's like if you're at McDonald's or you're sleeping or you're like, you're recuperating from something else. There's just always a punch card hanging off the back end of your shoulder, and you can always punch in and get some work done on anything. Um, Raya, do you like measure your time? Do you do something to like block out, all right, I'm going to work this many hours in a week? Or are you more goal oriented and you're like, well, I know what I have to do and so I'm going to do it on time? And I know
Well, I think for me, I do. I'm on a meeting. Sorry. So I honestly feel like it's both. So one, I definitely set a time for everything because I have to in order to get everything done that I need to do in a day. And remember with because I'm a mom as well. So I definitely have to set time aside for it. But in the same aspect, I feel like there's not a point in my day where I don't have anything that I need to do, especially because I do everything myself. And so yeah, I definitely feel like I'm constantly like on the go, but I definitely have learned I have to make time to rest. If not for myself, for my daughter, because she wants my time as well. So I don't think it's a time where I feel like, okay, I'm done for the day. It's not. It's like my to do list is ever going. But at the end of the day, I have to stop and I do have to make time for what's most important to me, which is my kid and my little family. So, yeah.
I just came like halfway into this conversation, so I'm just kind of like in listening mode, taking it all in. But yeah, that's a tough. I mean, everybody's got to kind of. That's. It's not really worth being a great success in business if your actual life sucks. So managing and maintaining both of them, keep making sure that you are giving the attention to your daughter, to yourself, your mental health, your well-being, your environment, while also grinding and trying to like pull a company up through the greats against
I,
all odds and somehow survive and maintain stamina and then get to the next level. Like it takes a toll. Like if you were going down the entrepreneurial path, for sure, like you are signing up for abuse basically, one way or another. And you know it's going to take a toll. So like knowing that when you go in and pacing yourself and taking care of yourself and taking care of the people that are important to you and making sure that life doesn't slip away as you're you know fighting the good fight. It's all that's very important.
but I think you've always had a pretty good work life balance. At least
What,
when we were
me?
in, yeah, at least when we were in Grant Park, because you would
I
do evening.
literally lived at work.
Well, you would do evening events, and your kid would get off of school, and you just had that 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock time block to goof around. Um, I mean, technically, you were always doing some other thing, but you had the physical presence. It was like take your kid to work day.
Yeah, I guess the way I would try it, my strategy for balancing work life was try to, turn was to try to figure out where they could intersect to where what could I do that is work, but it's also life. So that's why I always try and do things with my daughter. I'd be like, all right, let's do an event that my daughter can go to so she can be at the event that I'm at. I'm also working the event, but she's free to run around or whatever. And now I'm doing both things, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes it crashes. So actually at one point I took a list of all the things that I would have to maybe do in a day, and I broke them into two categories. There was like one category that like I could do with Aurora. Like I could, we could do this thing, and it'd be fine if she was with me. We could do it together or in tandem, or it wouldn't matter if, the things I could do with Aurora, and then a whole other list of things that like was damn near impossible to do when I had my kid. And so I would try to, when I didn't have my kid, I would try to work on the things that I knew I could only do when I didn't have her. And then when I would have her, I'd go look at the things that I could do that would still be fun for her, or that we could do together, or that she could be there for, and then try to work on those. So I'm constantly working, but I'm also trying to find a balance in my own way, I guess. I don't know. I love what I do, so it doesn't really feel like work most of the time.
I think for me, when it comes to this bout, I just don't. Whenever I just feel like I can't do anything else, I just roll over. I go to sleep. I don't even worry about it. Um, and when I feel like, oh yeah, oh that's real cool. Um, yeah, no. Whenever I just can't deal with it anymore, I just, you know, I think that the saying is to obey your body, to whatever. But I just, if I'm tired, I just go to sleep. But if I'm not tired, I'm pretty good at self motivating, and I just sort of let that carry me from day to day. It's rare that I say that I'll do something and don't at all do it. I mean, we weren't really sure what today's show was going to be like until a couple of hours before showtime. And it was like, all right, let me look at the calendar. Let me look at the clips. Let me look at the events. Uh, we're really going to get to a stage where we're going to have everything scheduled and packed down weeks in advance.
Speaking
But
speaking of things scheduled, don't we have an event this? Don't we have a film screening happening this
Yes.
weekend?
Yes, we
Let's
do.
uh let's pivot to that for a second. Yeah, so my brain is slowly getting online. The oatmeal is kicking in. So we last week, um, Raya was here and she aced the pitch gauntlet. She got to the discovery board and we did a collab. Got it done right away, overnight. Now we're on track. We're doing an event. When's that happening? This Sunday?
Sunday, Sunday, July
Yeah.
28th, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Go to mixdeity.com/girls on the scene. You can
Yeah.
buy
Ooh,
the
ooh.
idea
Let's do
paper.
that. Can
You
I
can
do that?
also you can also go to girlsonthescene.com. You can go to
Hmm.
Instagram. Mariah, just go nail this down. Talk more.
Okay, but yeah, Mixed Deity is awesome. They made our own link, so it's Mixed Deity slash Girls in the Scene, I do believe, and then our Instagram is Girls in the Scene Tour, but though with an A, not an E. And yeah, I'm excited for this movie premiere. I have, some people that have confirmed with me that they're coming. So I welcome, any of you guys that are watching in the McDD community. I definitely want to, have this to be a lasting connection and, support you guys as well in your events and things. So I would love to meet anyone that, is in whatever industry to be a part.
So, let's do a quick, a little thing. Let's just show the thing here. Hold on. Where is it? I'm gonna try to do the thing, Brandon. You know this always goes haywire when I try to hit buttons, but I'm gonna try it because I got the thing that I think I can do. Let's find out.
I
Let's
believe
find
that
out
you
how
need to do it.
crazy. Da, 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 do, 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 do. Something, something, something. There it is. Share that. Is that gonna work? Is that how that works? Did it work? Is it working? Hey,
Yeah.
sort of working. So there we have the women empowerment tour, but it's girls on the scene tour, right?
Yes, correct.
This is
Rock,
this
you
is
do
sort
not
of
need
like
to say it like that, but okay.
it's spelled that way. I had to say it that way in my head so I didn't spell it wrong and screw up the whole thing. So I have to say it the way it's spelled. That's just for my own mental note. That's all. It's I didn't really realize I was saying it out loud that way. All right, it's just that there's a trailer. Can we watch the trailer? Should we watch the trailer?
Yes,
Well,
you
you can.
should.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Well, let's throw this on for a second and see what we got. If I play this, will it take audio? Will we get audio on this, Brandon?
Depends on the settings you used, but maybe.
Let's find out. We'll at least do this like a trailer of the trailer.
Hi, girls on the scene. Hi. So we're just having everybody sign because we're gonna be filming.
Getting luxury rentals. I have a few Airbnbs here in the area. I'm a local to Southern California, and I am looking forward to networking with everybody here. Thank you.
Here's up, y'all. It's your girl Raven, aka Your Fave Rave. I'm a journalist and a producer, a TV producer with a show. Check it out at rawtv.hu on all social media platforms.
Hi, I'm Giorgio Cicatello. I'm a fashion designer, come from Rome, and I'm very honored to stay here for Girls on the
What's
Scene.
going on, you guys? It's your boy Rashard, aka Rara Santino. I am a makeup artist from Detroit.
Nice. I like it. That's cool. That's fun. So this is the movie that we're gonna see, and this is a movie of I think I can stop sharing now. Where's the thing? Come back, robot. Where'd you go? Oh no, something went wrong. There we are. Aha, we're back. So this is a trailer for the movie we're gonna be watching at the. Is this a world premiere?
Yes, this is a global premiere.
This is a global premiere, first screening ever of this movie, and it's a movie. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a movie, essentially a documentary of the events that you've been doing already. So you've been capturing the events, and you've
Yes,
consolidated that now into a film.
yes, that's right.
Nice. And so that's this Sunday. The tickets are, that's what I was originally kind of trying to show everybody, is that there's tickets. Anyway, so if you go to mixdd.com and click on Girls on the Scene, actually, we need a button on the homepage. See, this is what happens. I'm hosting and I'm web hosting. There's a link there. Instagram. People like Instagram, right? Let's do that. So go to Girls on the Scene Tour on
Yes,
Instagram, and I believe on that there's a bio link that goes straight to the tickets. Is that correct?
yes, that's right.
Okay, very cool. And yeah, and of course it's on mixdd.com too. It's a creative drinking club event, so we're going to be sponsored with the Creative Drinking Club. And tell us a little bit about the movie. What are we expecting for
Sure.
this movie? What's
Okay, so the movie features a lot of different types of women from different diverse cities, backgrounds, talents. Like you saw in the clip, we worked with a lot of different, types of business owners, creatives. So we want to showcase. The movie is titled "The Cost of Being a Boss." So we want to showcase like what these women and some guys were involved as well are bringing to the table in the different cities that we've been to, and like the movie mentioned, there are people that fly out internationally throughout the U.S. to come to these types of events. So people sometimes don't realize the importance of like if you really want to be a part of something or network with something, you have to physically pay the cost, not only to get there, but actually like the cost of being a part of sometimes is demanding on your physical body, on your mental health. Sometimes you're going to introduce yourself to people that you might be nervous, like, or anything like that. But if you really want, say that, you want to achieve or be successful at something, you have to pay the cost to be a boss. So that's what this movie is about.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Is it so it follows around these different women to these different events, or I mean, is it mostly interviews, or is there like a
Well,
go
there
through the
are
kind of they go through like your trials and tribulations? Like, was it
Well, there's mainly like going throughout like the different events, and interviewing the ladies on a set of like different topics about, themselves, about their life, um, and mainly just like expressing what all these women are capable of, like what they've been through, and how they achieve the success that they have in their life.
nice? Okay. All right. So we've got some stories there. That's going to be good. So, is there a tell me about the event, the premiere?
So the premiere, I'm excited about the premiere. The premiere is in Atlanta. So Atlanta is the first city that the premiere is touching down in. Um, it's going to feature talent, business owners, creatives, and different various types of people that are not only a part of the movie but are from Atlanta as well, showcasing what they are doing because we're actually filming in Atlanta as well. So we'll be submitting the movie to a couple of like festivals and competitions and different things like that. So we have some people that we're showcasing in Atlanta as well. So they'll be added in after the premiere, but we get to feature them a part of the premiere as well.
Nice. And what do people who are coming to the premiere need to know?
People that are coming to the premiere, you're welcome to bring, like what you do. Definitely bring business cards. If you have a physical product, that's definitely recommended. If you don't have a physical product, it's okay. Definitely bring business cards to network. People are flying out from, different various cities. So definitely if you want to connect with people that are not just in your city, but in the like surrounding cities or just areas that are outside of where you would normally go on the daily basis, definitely come because it's a great opportunity to, get the word out about your business to those people if they find interested. And what I just love when everyone networks with each other because everybody is a creative. Everybody has something to offer. That's unique to themselves, even if it's just their personality and their conversation. So definitely everyone is welcome to come be a part.
Nice. So, what do they need to know? Like, as far as
Um,
how do they get there? Like, where is it? Okay, I'll where is it?
okay.
Do they? Is there tickets? How much are the tickets? Where do they get them? When is it? And is there any other activities happening at it, like a mixer before or after, or a talkback, or a
Yes. So basically, it's the 28th. It starts around, I think we said 3. You can find tickets at Miss Didi slash Girls on the Scene. So with an A. So there are vendor spots. The vendor spots are 50. The regular admission starts at 25, and if you want VIP seating, it starts at 35. We are having a networking little sesh before. So if you come early, you'll get to be a part of that. And then we're going to premiere the movie as well as, check out the different vendors after, as well as having a quick talk back for any questions and also any like, reviews with for the people that are that were a part of the movie or, any questions for me or anything like that. Um, did I miss anything?
I think that's it. I think that we got it covered. Yeah. Sponsored by the Creative Drinking Club. If you're a member of the Creative Drinking Club, then you know how that works. If you're not a member of the Creative Drinking Club, then you might come check it out and learn how it works if you come to the event. I think we have Val joining us right now. Hey, Val, welcome. Can we hear you?
Hey, Rock, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, welcome to the show, Val. How you
Hey,
doing?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. What are we doing today, Val?
Oh, I'm telling you about a new comedy show on the West End featuring queer comics from Atlanta. It's the best. The address
Now I got. Nah,
is
I lost you.
that's cool.
No, say it all again because you cut out.
No worries. No worries. So, hey, I'm Val. I'm producing a new show this Friday in the West End featuring queer comics. We'll have a raffle from a sex shop. That's it's like, hang on, it's called the Kiss and Ride Sex Shop, and it's products directed at queer people. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. The address is 782 Cascade Avenue Southwest at the Control 404. New it's a new venue they've got. They'll be selling steak and salmon, and they'll have drinks. It's gonna be fun.
Okay. We're it sounds like fun. We lost a lot of that, but just make sure so people know where to go to find out more information to get all the nitty-gritty on this. Where do they go to find out more info on this event?
That's a great question. So we have.
Whenever somebody says that's a great question, I'm like, is there a great answer?
It's not a great question. It's a super basic question.
All right, where is this going?
The
Where's this
answer
going?
is that you can't, Rock. You can't buy tickets to the event. It's just that exclusive.
We just want to let you know that you can't come. Bye.
Yeah,
Classic.
it's easiest to just buy tickets at the door. It's $10. I mean, you do have an Eventbrite up. It's called the Struggle Bus Comedy Show. You can add me on Instagram.
The struggle bus?
Struggle Bus Comedy Show.
Juggle bus.
Struggle.
As in drugs?
Struggle, as in struggle snuggles. Struggle.
That's what I said the first time.
No, it wasn't.
What did I say the first
I have
time?
no idea what you said, Rock. That's what you need.
Okay. Yes, I'll have fries and make it an extra shake.
Wow. Oh, in that case, your change is 50 cents. So.
Okay, cool.
Anyway,
So that is
what this whole thing was.
what?
No, okay. Back to the original question. You all got so into riffing that we lost sight of.
Yeah, where do we find out more information?
So we have an event up on Facebook and Instagram, Struggle Bus Comedy Show. We have Eventbrite tickets. Just come down to the Control 404 in the West End. It's a new venue. We're really trying to help this venue get off the ground. And honestly, they're looking for performances and shows and mics.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they've got a great chef. So it's a really cool spot. They have their own PA. So I'm just trying to promote this local venue.
Very cool. Is there a bar there? I guess.
Yeah, they make drinks. They got food and drinks. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that is just to recap. This. Which day?
This Friday.
This Friday. I thought it was Friday. Is it every Friday or just once a month or just a one-off?
It might be a one-off. We might do monthly. See how it goes. Yeah.
Gotcha. So this is the test event. So we really need to bring it out then.
Mm-hmm.
We really need to get the bodies there so that they're going to want to sign up for more.
Right. Well, I just want to help this small family-owned business get off the ground. It's a really cool space, and they just want to help the community.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything to put this on. So
This location is, for people who don't know, this is very close to Weston Mall. This is very close to the Slutty Vegan on Ralph David Abernathy. This is ironically very close to Concerned Black Clergy. This is, and it's also very close to our friends at Connect Cooperative, which, they're a mutual aid co-op that is pretty similar to us in their business model. So this is just right in the heart of West End. This is right around, if you go to West End for anything, this location is pretty close.
Cool. And it's called the 404.
Yeah, Control 404, support Black-owned businesses.
Oh, like
Their daughter's queer, which I like. You know, they're super supportive. So.
All right. Have you met Raya? Raya, have you met Val? You guys should meet.
Hey.
Hi, nice to meet you. I mentioned in the chat, congratulations on this event.
Oh, thank you. You should come out. I'll send you a coupon code.
You're welcome.
So that's this Friday, and then Sunday. Yeah, very cool.
I'll actually be in town Friday, so yeah, please send me where to go, and maybe I can stop by at least for a minute or to say hi.
Oh, that sounds great. Yeah, and that sounds delightful. Here, I'll just put my phone number in the chat. If you want to text me and I'll send you the details.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and my Instagram. Yeah, is that cool?
Yeah, that's fine. It's good. Is it like a variety show? What else is going to happen at this show?
It's
Cool. That sounds great. It's like that, is it? Very curious. Everybody's suddenly muted.
Got Val. You've got Joseph Robinson as your co-host for this event. Anything interesting to say? Oh, Val, hold on. Yeah, hey, Val, you've got a co-host for this event. Anything interesting? Is there anything interesting about Joseph Robinson?
He's a sweetheart. I don't know about anything interesting, but he's a sweetheart. We've been going to events together. He's got beautiful long hair. But to be honest,
that's all you can think of. Like, he says.
Honestly, that for many people, that's a triumph.
I mean, I've been trying to grow my hair out for years. You see how short this is? Like, this is as long as it gets. You know, like, I am jealous of his beautiful long curly locks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there we have it. Well, as long as we're doing things for the right reasons, I think that's what's important.
All right.
How late is this show going to be? It starts at 7. Is this one of those events where it's like 7 and then there's question marks afterwards? How long are you going?
I hate that shit. For me, a comedy show should be roughly an hour and a half. I don't like it to run too much longer than that. I mean, it could go up to 2 hours, but I find that people get tired of hearing comics drone on for 2 hours. So we're going to try and keep it an hour and a half.
90 minutes.
I love comedy, by the way. I know it doesn't sound like you do. I want to clarify, I love stand-up comedy. I love the way people share their stories and share their experiences. And, you know, life is scary. And when you can poke a little fun at yourself and at the situations around us, it makes things a little less scary, a little more fun. And all of a sudden we're like back finding some joy. You know?
Heard. Yeah, I agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I put on workshops teaching survivors of domestic violence how to do stand-up comedy, because it gives you an opportunity to rewrite your own narrative, you know. And
you do workshops?
I teach survivors of domestic violence to do stand-up comedy, and my new workshop is called Traumedy. The last one was at Metropolitan Studios, East Atlanta. I'm looking for another venue, probably Dynamic El Dorado, to do it at. But basically, yeah, I mean, when you do comedy about traumatic events, it gives you an opportunity to rewrite the stories in your head. And it's validating to have other people join in and appreciate your stories and be inspired by what you've been through. But really, it's all about you as a performer rewriting and what's the word? Not rephrasing, but
reframing.
Thank you. That's the word I always forget. Reframing. our experiences. You
That's
know,
great.
yeah, and that goes back to like Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. I don't know if you've read that book. It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
I haven't, but we should get it in the library.
Can you name the book again?
Oh yeah, it's called Man's Search for Meaning.
Oh, this is Viktor Frankl's book. Oh yeah, no, I thought you were talking about a comedy book.
No, I mean, you know, comedy, philosophy, it's all the same shit. But yeah,
waka.
You know, Socrates had the best fart jokes. I mean, that's all I could say. Yeah.
No, for real. And what was the name? What was that philosopher who would like masturbate in the courthouse steps and lived in a barrel next to the courthouse?
Buddha?
You're thinking of Louis C.K. Yeah, I remember that guy.
The ancient Greek philosopher Louis C.K. masturbating on the courthouse steps.
What?
All right, I gotta get this.
I don't know who that is, to be fair. And I'm glad that I don't.
Yeah, great. That's great. We're not even going to tell you about that guy during this
show.
No free promo.
Yeah. Wow. It's reasons like that I stay off the internet. I don't touch the stuff.
All right, more for me then.
Yeah. You guys can have all the internet you want.
Thank you. I will have all the internet I want and more.
There you go.
I'm gonna make myself sick.
I'll just be doing my hair, you know.
You doing your hair?
Yeah, it turns out since it's so important, I didn't know.
See, if you had long, beautiful locks like Joseph Robinson, that would be believable. But listen,
Rock, do you feel like you take your hair for granted?
Probably, yes. I'm sure that if it disappeared, I would suddenly have very strong feelings about hair.
And you wake up one day, no.
Yeah. But I don't think about it unless, I guess, I don't actually think about it at all. I don't understand. It's one of those like social cues that I found out later in life that everybody else already knows that I definitely am not hip to, totally unaware. Turns out it's...
Is that bacon that I'm looking at in that oven? What's in there? Is that bread?
Does this shit look done to you guys? So it's chicken wrapped in bacon with some chives on it. I think it looks pretty good.
Can you show that one more time? Sure. I always encourage footage from guests. Wait.
That looks delicious.
That needs a little bit more time. But also, a little more time.
Yeah. It needs exactly the amount of time it takes for me to get over to your house. That's how much time it needs.
Don't come here, Rock. Don't. I'm only warning you once.
Don't come.
There does seem to be enough chicken for multiple people. Are you going to eat all that yourself, or is this do you have friends coming over? What's happening?
No, I just made it because I'm like, the chicken's going bad, the bacon's going bad. What can I do? We'll clearly wrap some chicken and bacon around some cream cheese and add some chives. I mean, you're welcome to come over. I'll be here for...
You made wedding food just because you were bored?
Yes.
Now,
wow.
I may literally go there just for...
Look at him. He's like, yeah, put that back on camera. Yo, what was that? Was that food?
No. I always think this. I tell Rock this all the time off camera. If someone shares a picture or a video of something that they're eating, it's way more interesting than anything that we can say. I really feel like we should make cheese in an oven and make some sort of cheesy bread. Yeah. And whenever there's a lull in the conversation, just bring out the cheese bread and just like, look at that cheese. It's spreading right now. People love cheese bread more than any human conversation.
You're right. You're right. We need the cheese bread. Can we just stop talking about it and then like get some grilled cheese in our face already?
We'll
make me hungry.
Grilled cheese. You say grilled cheese or grilled cheese?
I might have. That might have been.
I'm literally eating right now as I'm listening to you guys.
I know. I said grilled cheese. I don't know what everyone else said. Nothing like a little grilled cheese to start your morning.
Oh, okay, segue. We need a segue quick. Somebody.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't save you from that one, Rob. Not
I
recover.
know that. I never said it. That's you guys went there. That was your whole. All y'all took that down that slippery slope. Oh, slippery slopes. All right, moving on. What are we doing here today?
And
Circling back. So awesome on you, Val. Awesome on you for putting on the event, and let us know how we can help in any way. We're gonna try to throw the word out a little bit about it. I'm gonna try and come if I can. I'll try to bring 100 of my closest friends, and also Raya. Also, you got a great event. It's girls Tuesday today. We got the ladies. They're
Yes.
making moves, making money moves, making artist moves, moving. And so that's great. I think actually, the two of you should definitely like connect. I'd love to see what happens there because you're both very astute, like creative entrepreneurs and the kind of people that every time I talk to, you end up having something that you've accomplished since the last time I talked to you. You're one of the, you're both of you are like that. So
And we're hot.
also that, yeah.
Period.
Honestly, Rock, you're very often the same way. Sometimes I say, "What happened this week?" and you change something. I'm trying to say something nice to you.
Oh, okay. You're doing a bang up job.
Sometimes something happens and you're like, "I fixed something from a month ago," and it's like, "Yeah, this is better now. Way to go."
Oh, fair. Yeah. I got that nose to the grindstone attitude as well.
Raya, what other cities? What are the cities that are featured in the movie?
Okay. Sorry, I was eating the fry. Okay, so it's California, Texas, New York, Alabama, and after we are filming in Atlanta, but that won't be added until after Atlanta. So that's the final city that's gonna be added. So you guys, this is like a once in a lifetime chance to see what we have going on so far, and then after Atlanta.
Are you gonna record stuff at the screening during that networking event?
I do want to capture some behind the scenes, most definitely.
Yeah.
Are we going to see what you're eating right now?
Well, I'm driving, so I don't think
you're driving and eating and doing a podcast show.
Yes.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's multitasking.
No snitching, Rock.
What I just repeated what you just said. What are you talking about?
If you're watching this and you're a cop, you are legally obligated to turn off the stream. Although we do love monetizing your views.
If you're watching this and you're a cop, it's because you just pulled over Raya.
No. I'm not gonna get pulled over. I promise. I'm paying very attention to what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. How's that fry?
Very attention.
Pretty good.
Yeah, he's paying very attention. She talks good now. Drive, go. Yes, fast car. Fine. Okay. What?
So very good.
So I'm just stoked about all these events, quite honestly. Like I love what you're doing, Val. I didn't know about the comedy therapy thing. That's awesome. I mean, that's a natural connect, but to actually like create that space and lay that framework and help people walk that path. It's the cliched saying of the healing power of laughter, but no, seriously, like neurologically, that's facts. It's extremely powerful to be able to convert that kind of pain and suffering into something creative. And also the great thing about comedy is that you get to be weirdly intimate and vulnerable while while also like you can take a story to an incredibly dark place in comedy and then bring it around and make it like a joyful experience somehow. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, my problem with comedy in general is that people get on stage and just start talking about their marriage, their divorce, their ex, and like
Usually when I see guys, they're
It's like this is not therapy. The therapy happens when in writing group. The therapy happens beforehand with the stage. Like this is, I mean, it's selfish of me really because I'm like tired of seeing people just like do therapy on stage.
Right.
I
Can I
want
say something?
comedy. That's what I want. I love good comedy.
My mom, she would always say, like, I haven't done comedy, but as far as like me being a creative, she would always say when you write or when you do a performance, you're doing it for your audience. You're not doing it for
Thank you.
just yourself. So that's something I feel like people should keep in mind. Like, you're not just, doing this performance or whatever the case may be just because, it's for you and you love to do it. Like, this is actually, you have to realize like who your target audience is and how you're going to impact them and, make them laugh, make them cry, or whatever the case may be. So I feel like, people just got to look at it from like a third party point of view, I think, to be really successful at that.
Right. Mm-hmm. But
My
it's like
mom.
exactly.
Go ahead.
Comedy is a conversation between you and the audience, and your goal as a comic is not to make them feel sorry for you. If you make them feel sorry for you, they're not going to laugh. The point is to make them feel close to you. And if you can make an audience feel close to you, you're empowered. You're empowering yourself. You're providing an empowering narrative, and that's a secret to all good art is that you're providing yourself and the audience an empowering narrative instead of something sad and disempowering. Yeah.
That's that being able to flip it, being able to go to that dark place, but then flip it with a different lens, I guess. I don't know how you describe it. Like it's hard to. That's kind of like a precipice that I think any comedian walks sometimes when you're dealing with sensitive material about things that people, could have had real world experiences. How do you make that funny?
Right.
When you're also dealing with something that could be,
And it doesn't have to be funny. The thing is that you're not. The thing about comedy, you're not trying to make people laugh. You're trying to be empowering and intimate. And they may or may not laugh, but there's some great comics. There's this one guy, I forgot his name. He has a whole show about the death of his child.
Oof. I mean, if you walk out of that show feeling something good, that's impressive.
It was incredible and empowering. He has this one bit where he's like,
"Oh,
just perfect timing."
Are you kidding?
Let's all go around the table and make up bits for Val. You're back.
She's back.
Yeah,
You were about to get
sorry.
super Go ahead.
Sorry. I have no idea what I was going to say.
There was a special part about the guy with the kids.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he had a bit where he was like talking to the doctor. He's like, "Why do I keep like banging my head on the wall and like trying to harm myself?" And the doctor was like, "Oh yeah, that's just part of what happens when your kid dies. Like, oh, that's like normal." And it was, I said that terribly, but it was the way he shared that. He was just like noticing what had happened, and it was funny.
I guess that's ridiculous. Sort of yeah. I guess it sort of opens up the. I mean, in that story, what you're basically saying is that the doctor's essentially giving it a sense of normalization because it's like, yeah, everybody dies and shitty things happen to anyone, anytime, anywhere. And when they do, this is what a person does. And so it's like at one time, I can see how that could be worked into some humor, but at the same time, it's what you talked about earlier about intimacy. Like, that is something like, you see somebody suffering on stage, but it's the kind of suffering you can relate to, then they can make light of in a way. It's then I see what, yes, it makes sense why one joke about something dark might just hit very awkward and sad, whereas another joke would land or even just not even joke technically, but a anecdote or something that brings a person in versus that's funny. I used to watch stand up and you'd see when the comic like makes that one wrong move and they lose the audience, and then they try to re-grab the audience and they start getting desperate, and then they just go down and just die slowly on
That's fun.
stage.
It's fun to watch too, isn't it? Yeah. I love watching comedians fail.
Oh my
And
God.
I love watching them do great, but I also love watching them fail. It's another type of art.
It's a win-win.
So the difference between surviving and thriving, yeah?
Val, you got a second?
Like-
Turn your camera the other way around.
Okay. Like that?
No,
I mean like vertical.
You want to look at the food again?
No,
See, is that what this is about?
I very much do, but also I meant, I wanted to
like that.
That's perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Oh,
Look
okay.
at that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the chicken's
Got a bunch
ready.
of cinematographers in this
Yeah.
in this group.
Wow.
Now it looks perfect.
Okay, I think that's ready.
That looks pretty delicious.
Mm.
Well, I don't think we have any contestants today, do we, Brandon? Will anybody sign up for the incubator?
Raya did the idea submit, but she's already on the board.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what?
We're all good. We're great.
Okay. Okay, cool. I thought you cut out.
Can I share something with you guys?
Yeah, share something with us.
Okay, and this is just because I just thought about it from y'all's previous conversation. But okay, so the weekend that we're doing like the movie premiere, that's literally like a couple days before like my mom passed away, and I picked those days on purpose because I felt like I want to celebrate her and I want to do something that I feel like she would be really proud of. So I do resonate with like what y'all were just talking about, how like sometimes people use their creative outlets to heal from things. Because I realized recently that I never really like grieved over the death of my mom. I really just got jumped like straight into work and trying to figure out like my life from there or whatnot. And so how I'm healing now is literally by putting doing creative things and getting my creative works out there. So it's cool to be a part of a community that actually like welcomes you to do so. So yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you for sharing that, and I'm glad that you're walking that path, and it's a beautiful thing to bring new life in creative life or otherwise into the world, based off of your own history, and that's like the perpetual chain link stitching as we roll forward through time, how each of us creates something and then time passes and then something else happens and somebody becomes an inspiration to somebody else and brings them up, and then they do something, and there's a throwback or a memory or a connection to that perpetual creative quilt work, time and space. These mushrooms are really hitting. Woo!
Tell me about it.
So, but seriously though, I do the same thing. Like whenever I'm dealing with some kind of major tragedy or issue or like emotional thing or just some impossible situation or death or whatever, my go-to answer is to somehow, like, it's always the same answer. I always respond the same way, which is to throw an event. Like, okay, well, let's do a fundraiser. We went broke, let's do a fundraiser. Somebody died or something happened, let's do a memorial. We got to get this, this campaign, something, let's do an event. Like, my baseline instinct is whatever the problem is, it's more likely to get solved if you can bring people together. And that's what events do. They bring people together of a like mind for a like cause or a like thing. And then all of a sudden you have an opportunity to do, I don't even know how any of it might solve anything. All I know is that if it's going to be solved, it's probably going to be through collaboration or, other people. So bringing them in is like the first step, and then who knows what happens after that. But there's a therapeutic element to it as well. It's funny how all this just is all of art really just therapy.
Yes.
It feels like that way sometimes. She
It's all about
drove,
finding meaning in this, the insane meaninglessness of life and the world and how, the harshness, right? It's all about
yeah.
finding meaning and beauty in it. It is beautiful. It is meaningful. We just have to make it.
I took a hiatus from being an artist for like 5 years. Literally, just went cold turkey. I quit making videos. I quit acting. I quit doing music. I quit everything. And it was because I wanted to learn this. I wanted to kind of go undercover in the business world to understand the culture of these people that run the world. And but not as an artist, because I've been around business people as an artist, and like business people that just literally live and breathe business, and that's just like their embedded culture, which is a type of person. um, but being around those people as an artist, I was always kind of looked at over a fence, like a kind of like an anomaly or a commodity or something. Like we would have after parties from like some of the plays I would perform in, and we go to like these multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire people's houses who like funded the theater or whatever, and we'd be special guests in these insanely rich places. But you know I, we weren't really welcome there. We were novelties at their on their plate, if you will, right? So I was always around these people, but I didn't understand them, and I could see that I was being looked at from across a fence. I wasn't in the club. I was this sort of like novelty item, in the party. Um, but so I went cold turkey for like 5 years, and then I immersed myself in just strictly businessy stuff, which was like pulling teeth for me. I literally hated almost every minute of it. But when I finally crossed through and found myself like at a boardroom where I was suddenly being looked at as a peer, where people were seeing me as like, these are multimillionaire investment people, and they're looking at me as if I'm one of them, not as if I'm a novelty artist that's like being. And for the first time, I was able to kind of look at the world through the lens, which was my goal. I wanted to see the world through the lens of the people who actually think this way innately, because I could not fathom how it made sense. But I know that it's a way of seeing the world, and I had to understand what it looks like. So that was the goal. And once I looked at artists through the lens of this like embedded business culture mindset, for the first time ever, I actually grew a huge appreciation for what artists actually are and what it actually means to be a creative. And it was hilarious because the thing that hit me harder than anything else was that these people live in a world that they can buy pretty much anything, and that's how they see the world. Everything has a value point, and you can purchase it for X amount of value, and then it's worth this much, and you can resell it, blah, blah, blah. Like everything, people, property, time, whatever. Anything's buyable. Everything has a price. But artists are this weird anomaly that sometimes there's no amount of money you could just pay them to not do or to do something. Like they just live on a completely different set of rails than this business culture. And so particularly like a successful artist or a creative art, like they just like they can't really fathom the idea that a person could live that way, where money doesn't essentially dictate hierarchy, where where you could just willy-nilly think something up in your brain and then go do it, or that you're just gonna do something random and artsy fartsy for the day because that's what you felt like doing, like as like a deep tissue business person, like
Deep
that
tissue?
is deep tissue, like a through and through is what I'm trying to say. Because there's people that do both, but I'm talking about the ones that really just live in the business world. But I got this huge new appreciation for creatives, and I realized that because creatives can't necessarily be controlled by the almighty dollar in that way, as in like you couldn't pay somebody to be creative. Like they either are or they aren't. You either came up with an idea or you didn't. Like money can't like make ideas happen. You
Yeah, they
can
live in
buy them
this
once they
weird.
happen, but you can't make it go. So I don't know. I just grew this huge they're like this unquantifiable entity. It just is super fascinating to a lot of the
Rock.
purebred business culture.
I wanna go back to the theme of the show,
Okay.
which is, and I'm gonna ask Val about this too because they came in a little later. How did you handle follow-ups with those people?
Wait, what? Are you talking to me?
How did you follow up with people in the corporate world, and how was it similar or different to following up or staying top of mind with artists? Was it the same, similar, different?
Well, the mindset of an artist and the mindset of a business person are literally polar opposites. They're going, everything about what they do, why they do, how they do are literally opposites, which is why it's so hard to be both, because you're going in opposite directions. And what I mean by that is as a business-minded person wants to know how everything's going to end before it starts. Like, they're not going to invest their money until they know how they're going to get it back and what all the steps are to get there and what all the measurements are and what the timeline is and what the metrics are, blah, blah, blah. Once all the entire roadmap is laid out and they know the how it ends, then they start, right? Artists is the opposite. Artists is in a perpetual state of discovery. They don't know how it ends. They don't know what the sculpture is going to look like or how the story is going to round up or how the act of being creative is discovering that or inventing it or pulling it down or putting it together. And so your job is to discover your own, creative pathway, which is impossible to build a business structure around if the business structure requires it to have an ending. So however you're connecting with, business people or artists, that's, I think, an important framework to keep in mind is that artists are in the mindset of discovery, where businesses are in the mindset of, the opposite. They're not trying to they'll discover something, but they're not going to get involved in something. An artist will get involved in a project with no idea how it's going to turn out. Business person, no way, not going to touch it until it's very, very much sure that it will turn out exactly how it's supposed to turn out. So with follow-ups, I guess, to answer your question, when I'm dealing with business people, I'm thinking in that terminology to where I'm not going to pitch them some half-baked concept. I'm not going to follow up without having definitive answers, There's just not really worth having a conversation if you don't already have a precision about what you're trying to say and accomplish in that conversation, Whereas with a creative, I might just connect with them just to mention something random I thought of with no frame or context. Just be like, oh, hey, Val, I thought of I saw this thing. It was a sign and it was green and it was funny and blah, blah. Anyway, I got to go. That's a, a viable conversation. and who knows? That could be actually useful to a creative. A business, no, not at all. They don't care.
Val, how do you follow up with people? You have a great meeting with somebody. They're like, yeah, this was cool. See you later. And you want to talk to them in 2 days. Do you call them? Do you text them? Do you email them? Does it matter? You're muted. Hold on. All right.
I don't know. It's whatever gets them to respond. And if it's a business, sometimes you have to bark up their tree kind of aggressively. Or if they're I've had to there's been some things I wanted to do and I've had to follow up 5 or 6 times, within a year. And I would set alerts for myself on my calendar that I need to follow up. It just takes, people really respect and respond to persistence, even if you're annoying as fuck. Just be persistent and you'll get what you want.
Heard.
Just be annoying. Yeah,
I love it. That's where I often come from. I just die or unsubscribe once you're in the mix there. I love it. Okay. Rock, anything else on your mind for this week? What's going on?
I think that we should do some choreography. If I put my arm like this, like that, and then Brandon, you put your arm in like where your hand sticks out, and then you put like one hand above you. Or hold on. Like, let's try
I'm
this.
very reluctant to
I'm
do
gonna
this.
try Val's sport. She'll be a sport with me. Here, Val, be my hands. Be my hands, Val. Ready?
That
Wait, hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, this seems like a job for. All right.
This is productive. This is productive. Hold on. Oh, it's mirrored. I'm backwards. There we are.
Oh shit.
It almost.
Horrifying.
Val, this is going to be a lot funnier if you grab that piece of chicken. There you go. All right. Perfect, though.
It's burned.
There it
I
is.
looked it up.
We did it. We did it, Val.
Mm.
I don't know what it is, but you sure did do it.
Hey, this is we're not looking for critique, okay?
I'm gonna make you tall, Val. You're gonna be tall now. All right, you ready to be tall? Hold on.
I don't know if I'm ready to be tall. I've been 5'3" a long time.
Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is. Go, Val.
Yeah.
Show them your guns, Val. Show them your guns. That's right.
I don't know. They look a little small. I'm usually a lot bigger.
Okay. That was satisfying. Thanks for rolling with me on that, guys. I needed to do that.
I did not
Try to be
consent.
crazy for 20 minutes.
I did not consent to being your head. I still don't consent.
You give great upper torso. You really do. It was.
Yeah, I'm gonna complain to HR.
Yeah, if you find HR, let me know.
Rob,
We've been on a bender. We haven't seen him in a while.
It's time for you to investigate yourself and find yourself not guilty. Standard procedure.
I sent you to evening of fine wine and dinner, and maybe a weekend on the slopes.
Yeah, I sentenced you to paid time off starting right now.
Yeah, sent you to 10-foot massages and an afternoon in a hammock. See how that? Take that on. Oh my gosh! Oh hey, check it out. We got a new guest here. This is Elvis. He's a chick. Oh, he ran off. Is a chicken.
Wait, Elvis the chicken?
Yeah, there's wild chickens here in Key West.
Seriously? That's so cool.
Yeah, seriously.
I still need to come visit.
This one's named Elvis.
Well, you said Key West smells like rotten fish, so.
No. Just not the whole island. Just the just the Fort, or not Fort Zach, but one of the beaches is not a real beach. They have like seagrass that washes up and it's there and it kind of decays on the beach, and it's where it looks great because they cover it with sand because they're doing like 50 weddings a day out there because they're cheap, but they don't advertise what the seagrass smells like when you're on the beach getting married, so it's really hilarious to walk by on a particularly sulfury smelling day and watch all the wedding groups try to pretend that nobody smells the same thing that everybody smells. And it's just like sometimes it's like really like rancid, like you're maybe gonna throw up. It's so bad. And they're just out there like these glazed on smiles, like this is a beautiful day and this is the most special day of our life, and nobody smells that corpse at all. Yeah. So not the whole island and not all the time, just that one beach doesn't have proper irrigation or whatever. But yes, you should come down. In fact, I just found out there's a comedy club down here, which didn't used to be here. Yeah. And they bring some acts down, but I was thinking maybe we could coordinate like a comedy thing in Atlanta with some like contest winners or a lineup, and then we could do like a Key West. I'm going to be doing a lot of Key West Atlanta stuff is my point. So,
Yeah, if we can talk money, I mean, I got a friend with a bus who'd be probably happy to drive down. Wait,
they do
fly, right?
They do have money down here. That is the one thing that Key West is very good for, is there's lots and lots of money, like kind of stupid money. Yeah, so it's just a matter about coordinating.
Okay, I know I've got a money guy, so maybe you guys can talk.
Okay.
It's my boyfriend. He's got a degree in.
It's always your boyfriend.
Hey, why do you think I date these people? It's because they add value, okay?
I remember the first time I met a guy of yours that you weren't dating, and I was like, oh, so you guys are just actually being professionals?
Who was
Cool.
this? It
I,
probably
I
didn't
can't.
last long.
I think it was a
Yeah.
mentor. No. It was you might have been dating at one point. Maybe you just
Mm,
weren't at that particular moment.
I don't know.
It
I've
was a
dated everyone in Atlanta. I have the highest body count in the city.
nice.
Yeah.
You could do a vlog or
Mhm.
something, maybe. Like
I could
people
do
could come
vlog,
to you
yeah.
for references. Like I'm looking for somebody who's a little bit like this, but a little bit like that. Like, oh, I know just who you need. He's a little bit slow on the upstart, but just give him time. He warms up and he's pretty good, on the home stretch.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
was
talk too
joking.
much.
I
Oh,
was, yeah,
bummer.
sorry. I can refer
Yeah.
you some people, but
You
like,
see how I miss these jokes a lot.
I mean, the thing is, it's just most men are just terrible in bed. That's why I
Oh,
started
that's
dating
true.
women.
Yeah.
So many of them are just awful. The last straight guy, the last cis guy I dated, turned me off from sex so hard. I came out as gay. You know, it's true. But I just started. I thought I was really gay until I met this new cis guy. I think he's really sweet and he's like incredible. But like, I thought I was like gay gay. Turns out I just had some really bad dick. So
That is so hilarious. Like, that is hilarious.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
really can have it all. Yeah, the dick was so bad, it gave me a health condition. It gave me pelvic dysfunction. I thought my pussy was broken for like the next 3 years. And then I took a break and just dated women, and I'm back, baby. Sorry, that was
Wow.
probably TMI.
No, that was great. Hey,
Yeah.
Brandon, did we check that box on the YouTube channel that this is not for kids, right? We did that, right?
Yeah, we checked that box by
Okay.
default. I
Just
want
wanted to.
as long as you don't curse in the first 60 seconds, YouTube will let you get away with almost anything, which is why I do a big intro spiel whenever we start, and I say
To
hi,
keep me from cursing.
give my name, just so that like I know Val might just come in here and just start talking about chicken gizzards or whatever. So it just got to keep it coordinated.
Takes all kinds. That should be a T-shirt, though.
You never
I
know.
thought I was gay. It turns out it was just really bad dick.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
thought it was
guess.
gay
Well,
gay.
here's the thing. You could wear that shirt and you'd run into people who were like, "Oh yeah," that shirt would just be seen as a challenge in certain parts of the community. With
By the guys, yeah.
well, I thought of with girls, but honestly, guys more so.
Yeah, this is why I dress like a man, is because these guys already up in my business, and I mean they're like desperate. It's like, what's that?
I feel that.
Anyway, sorry.
Do they know about the bacon wrapped chicken? Because that may make them even more desperate than before.
That's a great. That's
I
the
burned
only.
it though. It's burned.
Yeah. If you want
to,
great.
if you want to derail like the atypical male's brain off of sex, the first thing, best thing, food, like sandwich versus sex. Like it's like, ooh, that's what kind of sandwich is it? Like if it's an easy, like it's like a dog mentality. Like you throw a sandwich, he'll chase the sandwich, and then you can get. No.
Well,
No.
usually I usually just tell them about my mental health issues and ask them where they live. If I want to, derail, get a guy to be not interested in me, it's pretty easy.
I suppose so. Yeah. I guess you probably have a whole smorgasbord of options that you can pull out. But you gotta I'm gonna scratch your nose.
Like, hey, where do you live? Have you thought about getting married? I'm meeting him.
Oh, that's
what's your income?
Yeah. Just drop the word married.
Yeah.
What a great way.
Like when you tell guys you're gay, they'll like challenge you on it. Be like, "Are you sure?"
Fair. Yeah, of course.
Have you tried all dick? Have you tried my dick?
Oh.
It's the best. And I'm like, I've tried a lot of dick. And it was all terrible.
Sometimes I really want to apologize for my gender, but then I think but then I also think about how like somebody really needs to apologize for your gender also. Like, to be fair, we're all horrible people. Like, you just give us a chance.
Yeah. True.
Do we want to declare a W on the night, or do we want to play highlights from?
A what now?
Do we want to call it a win for this show?
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, I think this was a really fun show. We could do a quick. You want to do a thing where we like end the stream, but like we leave the window open?
What window?
This thing.
Oh yeah. We'll all hang out here. It's no big deal. If you're watching this, though,
if you're watching this, you're about to get.
Stop. No, what you should do if you're watching this is go to takeovertuesday.com and become a guest. You can also RSVP. You can watch. You can also check in with Mixed Deity and become a formal part of the community. You can also become a member. Go to mixeddeity.com/club, and you'll have just all that you need. Starting at $15, you can get access to all of the events, gig opportunities, mentorship, games, fun, and more. So
lots of fun stuff.
I've got to start putting in music for these places.
Hold on, I found one. It's generic. Let's see what it does. What is this? I got an airplane. I can't hear anything. But yeah, so today was episode 20. It was episode 20 of this. That's two. Yeah, that's two.
I don't consider just episode count.
Yeah, I mean, fair, but still, though, the point of this show in its early incarnation, the point of this show in its early incarnation is that it has to be consistent. So really, we defined our success early on as we want to actually make sure that this show keeps happening every Tuesday at 2, reliably, no matter how unprepared, no matter what else is going on, hell or high water, because it is the cornerstone of the whole. Oh shit, I'm doing it backwards. Wow, this camera's lying to me. Oh, I got two different. I don't know which is which. Whatever. Anyway, so it's the whole thing is its own definition of success, and I'm just super glad that you guys were on the show today. Thank you for being here, Brandon. You've always held things down really well for this Takeover Tuesday, and we have a ton, like literally a ton of content about getting ready to come through this pipeline. So
things are really blowing up. They're really taking off.
We are like you know that point where you're building a fire and you've got, maybe you guys don't build fires, I don't know, but you like set up the kindling and the paper and the thing and you got this and you pour the gasoline on it, and then all you have to do is like hit it with the match. We're like at the part where we're about to light the match and throw it on. It's like we have been building this contraption for quite a while now, and I'm super excited about what's coming out of it. But episode 20 is a milestone. It's 20 times in a row. That is, what do they call it? Future indicator of future behavior or something. Yeah. What do they call that, Brandon? Past performance is indicator of future performance.
Success. Yeah, that's something they say on LinkedIn.
Exactly. And our whole thing is like, don't tell us, show us. So boom. That's a little personal celebration because consistency is not my strong suit. So the last thing I want to say is that we just launched the early prototype of the Discovery Board. Okay, the Discovery Board is the old idea board, but it's condensed into the Opportunities Board, the Gig Leads Board, a ton of stuff. It's where it's essentially a digital version of a bulletin board that you might find at the actual physical media cafe, where you can put up job listings, you can find gigs, you can do volunteer opportunities, you can earn points in the incubator, you can jump on this project right now. So for example, if you're like, oh, I don't know how to get involved, you just go to
promote one of these events, now how to do it. And honestly, like, even if you think all of us are annoying, this board is all of us in compressed text format, and the opportunities will come to you as fast as you can read. So no matter who you are, no matter what your vibe is, the Discovery Board will allow you to find paid gig opportunities, find projects to volunteer with, find networking opportunities. And we just spend way too much of our day maintaining that board, making sure that it works, and just making sure that you can plug in and be a part of it. And it's only getting better, so there's no reason not to visit.
I gotta do a walkthrough.
Okay, fine.
I got to. I can't. My brain is exploding. I have to. And I'm gonna.
How do you
To,
how do you get on that board?
It's very easy. You go to mixdeity.com. Hold on. I'm gonna hit this button. Mixdeity. Bling. Bligada. Flibbada. Shlim shlamana. Hlamana. Shibada. Hibada. Badibadoo. There it is. Share this guy right here.
Don't gender the idea board.
It's not. You know what? I'm not even going down that rabbit hole with you.
That button.
So here it is. So you can go to the discovery board. Boom. You can hit that button. You can see everything.
What's the URL?
Then you can go. This is mixdeity.com/discovery-board. But you should be able to get to it just from the homepage, or at least you will be able to soon.
Yeah.
So, and then what this is, you may have to register for this if you're not already registered on the site, but it's free, at least for now. And so now check it out. Here's gig leads and leads opportunities. So you can filter for these different communities. So if you're part of the wellness community or tech community or storyteller, you're in the fringe community movement, whatever, you can filter. So these are pre-filtered. Let's go ahead and click on events. And then what it's going to do is it's going to take you to it's basically a window into our internal administrative system where we use Trello, and it pre-filters everything that goes on the board, and here it is right there. So now these are gigs and opportunities. These are all paid gigs. So here's singers wanted, and on this, apparently I've got pretty slow internet, and so this is going to have the information you need to get that gig. And there's a date, and there's like information and whatnot. And then, so we're looking for some jugglers. We needed a Sarum Nacha impersonator, actor for murder mystery. So this is just a taste. But also, so if we go back, check this out. This is where it gets fun, though. The reason it's set up this way is because we're expected to have literally thousands of cards on this board once it gets fully activated. So we want to make sure that you can find things. Here's a view all ideas and projects. So this is the thing. This is what you really want right here. View all ideas and projects. So it takes you to the same board, but it only shows you things that match that filter. And guess what's on here, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between? It is Mariah's film premiere. Look at that right there.
Hey, wow.
Look at that. So now we can click on that, be like, oh, that looks like fun. Oh, it's new this week. Oh, it's a new thing this week. What is it? And then look at that. It's got all of Mariah's contact information. We should maybe make this more private. I'm not sure. It's a prototype, so we got to test it out and figure out what like tweaks to make. But the point is that without like Val and Mariah, like you're both my friends, but you can connect to each other directly without me, right? Shoot. Like we did with that little trade with the contact information earlier, but the reality is that the discovery board is for people to discover each other, discover projects, discover gigs, put things up that they want to be discovered, So that's just an introduction to what that is, and check it out.
I love it. It looks great, and it's so great looking at that because we see just so many of the memories from previous episodes.
Yeah.
And
I forgot the video. So you can watch each idea. They do the pitch gauntlet on the show, and then you can go and you can just watch it.
Wow.
So yeah. So even there it is. So that's from a previous show where it froze or whatever. Okay, fine. Anyway, you get the idea. So I guess it's time to call it. Is that the nature of the thing?
We did it. Yeah, let's call it. Let's get out of here.
All right. Okay.
We got to edit. Wow.
All right, we're gonna go. We're going on. For all you, both of you out there watching, be cool. Is that a good sign off?